Let's talk about that feeling, that really familiar, frustrating feeling of just living on autopilot. Today, we're going to break down some powerful ideas that can help us shift from a life of just constant reaction to one of real, conscious awareness.
You know what I mean, right? Where you react with this flash of anger or a wave of anxiety before you've even had a chance to think. You get caught in these loops of worry, just replaying the same stuff over and over again. It really feels like your thoughts are in charge, not you. And look, this isn't just a bad habit. For a lot of us, it's just how we live.
And to put a number on this, check this out. The philosopher Girish Jha actually did the math. If you feel that anxious pang just 5 times a day, which for some of us is a low estimate, that adds up to over 1,800 times a year. In a single decade, that's a staggering 18,000 times. That really shows you what's at stake when we live in that automatic, reactive state.
So what's actually going on here? Well, a lot of Eastern wisdom calls it the default mind. This is our mental autopilot. It's that impulsive, kind of mechanical part of our consciousness. And yep, it's the source of all that anxiety, conflict, and suffering we were just talking about. It's basically our mind running on old, outdated programming.
But, and this is a big but, there is another way. It's called the discerning mind. Now, where the default mind is all reactive and turbulent, the discerning mind is aware. It's calm, it's conscious. You know, it's the difference between being totally stuck in a mental traffic jam versus just cruising down an open highway.
So when you look at it like that, it's really easy to picture these two separate minds duking it out inside your head, right? A good one versus a bad one, locked in this endless battle for control. But is that really what's happening?
And here is the first huge insight we can take from all this. The surprising truth is, no, it's not two different minds. There is only one mind. The only thing that changes is what it's filled with.
Okay, a great way to think about this is to picture water. Water is still H2O, whether it's churning and chaotic or perfectly calm and still, right? Well, your mind is exactly the same. The default mind is just your mind when it's filled with turbulent stuff, fear, anxiety, reactivity. The discerning mind is that exact same mind when its contents are calm and clear. So the goal isn't to defeat some part of yourself, it's just to calm the water.
This brings us to another really profound idea, one that gives us a much kinder, more compassionate way to think about who we really are. It's this whole concept of the undamaged self.
To really get this, let's use another powerful metaphor. I want you to imagine that your true, essential nature, the real you at your core, is
a permanently shiny floor. It's just inherently beautiful, it's whole, and it's completely invulnerable. This core self is always there, always in a state of peace, just underneath everything else.
Okay, so if that's our true nature, what about all the negative junk? All the anxiety, the fear, the worry, those impulsive thoughts that feel so incredibly real and so damaging? Well, in this metaphor, all of that stuff is just
layers of dust on the surface. Now, this is a huge shift in how we see things. Our negative states, our worries, our fears, they're temporary. They're superficial. They can cover the floor, but they can't damage it.
And this is the most important part. No matter how thick that dust gets, the floor's essential shininess is never, ever damaged. Our core self is always peaceful and whole, no matter what temporary emotional storms pass over it. It's always there, intact.
okay. So understanding this is one thing, but how do we actually use it? How do we interrupt that autopilot mode when it's happening? We need a tool. So let's talk about how to go from just knowing this stuff to actually doing something with it.
First, let's do another quick reframe. Start thinking of your negative thoughts and feelings as unauthorized occupants. Seriously, they are not the rightful owners of your mind. They're just temporary visitors who have totally overstayed their welcome. They don't have a lease. The default mind, well, it mistakenly gives them the keys, but the discerning mind knows they have no right to be there.
And this brings us to a really practical tool called the break principle. It's 4 steps. First, B is for behold. Just notice your mental habits when they pop up. Don't judge them, just see them. Second, R is for pause. Just for a second, create a little space between the thought and your reaction. You become the observer. Third, E is for recognize. Identify the pattern. Oh, hey, there's that old anxiety loop again. And finally, A is for awaken. You engage your discerning mind by asking one simple question. Is this thought permanent or is it temporary? And just that one question can totally break the spell.
So as we start to bring all this together, it becomes pretty clear that this whole journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's really about remembering who you've been all along.
And let's be really clear about this. The goal here is not to struggle and fight to build some new, better, calmer version of yourself from the ground up. I mean, that just sounds stressful, right?
Instead, it's more like a gentle process of discovery. It's about remembering your true nature, uncovering that peaceful, whole, and completely undamaged self that has always been there. You know, just like that shiny floor under all the dust. The peace you're looking for, it's already inside you.
And so that leaves us with one last, really crucial question to think about. Is it you, your aware, discerning self, who's living your life? Or have you accidentally handed the keys over to the automatic, reactive patterns of your default mind? The choice, it turns out, is yours in every single moment.